Hey guys, welcome back. Maris here, and we have next episode for State of Decay 2. And this time we have tips and tricks, fourth part, I think. Anyhow, you already read the title, so that's what this video will be about. Meanwhile, I tried already to do some first filming and doing playthrough, which ended badly, but that was a really important mission, so this time I have nothing special, just want to see traders. So I'll go through one by one. You know the drill. In the description there is timestamps, so you can check, skip any if you want. If you want, go through. I'll go one by one, and let's begin. No, let's not waste any more time. I just wanted to show you my little petting zoo. They just spawn there, and it's pretty funny that they can't get out. Okay, first thing already. First tip is I checked actually. I started to write them down before patch 2.0, and now I check it's not there anymore. I hope they fixed it because it was really awesome. I'll just show you what it was. Sometimes when your companion wanders away somewhere or just gets lost somewhere or some other issue, and it's hard for you to find which one was it, because you could switch to the person, then switch back, and that resets their position, and then they restart following you. Let's call it another tip, bonus tip. So, and it still was quite problematic to find which was your particular if you don't remember, because, well, as my other tips showed you, yeah, suggested is to switch between them. For example, those definitely I recently used because they currently are not in the great shape. Anyhow, the first tip, basically, not basically, but supposed to be, was, as you can see now, I have this outline for which person I want to select. Previously, before the patch, actually was also outline for the companion you that is following you. And now, as you can see, now I don't have follower, but also there's no outline. I just checked, switched, nothing. So after the patch it's broken, maybe they bring it back. Anyhow, but instead of that, there's another just quick thing I noticed. So instead, for the first tip, we have, if you have member with blank fifth skill, it costs you, for example, I needed a farmer gardening skill, so I took blank skill, used one book, so obtained the gardening, and afterwards I have two hydroponics, and I used boost yield for both of them, and when they both enabled, basically I had reached max out the first part of gardening skill, so I could choose for agriculture or herbalism. So what it takes 2 times to use this skill. I don't know, probably for others maybe more, maybe less, but for farming, that's, yeah, 2 boost yields and 1 book. Okay, second tip is army zombies are durable. That's one funny thing I noticed only. You know, army zombies, they dressed as army, they have helmets. That's one of the pointers, because you can't shoot them right in the head. There's actually an achievement to shoot from the head and then shoot the zombie. So the thing is, not only that you need to kick them way more, and also shoot more times. I hit the zombie with the car, and I just looked around, and I noticed that afterwards I drive through him. He actually woke up, like stood up from the ground. Something, maybe it's for, yeah. Just pay attention. They are more durable than they look. Tip number 3: car durability is separated from the doors. It means you shoot the car. If there is no explosions, that the doors still remain attached to the car, And opposite, if you use the car doors after 40 zombies hit, they will be thrown out, but the car's like body durability is separated. Just keep in mind those things. Doesn't I don't know how useful it could be, but anyhow. Tip number 4: cars don't explode right away. It's actually insane. I was testing and shooting the car. After a long time shooting, it started to burn, and I was like, okay, this is it. Usually in video games, when it starts burning, in some moments it is exploding. Similarly, if you hit some obstacle while driving, then it starts burning. Obviously, it's your first instinct is to get out because there will be explosion. So I sat right next to the car waiting for explosion, and it took way more. And at the end, actually, I think I was far too busy hitting zombies, and I think explosion went only after I shoot it afterwards. Still, and quite opposite is also true. I drove the car in the some obstacle building. It started burning. I barely got out, and the car basically exploded after a moment. I get reached the safe distance. So what you can take away from this is, as we don't know, there is no health bar for cars, we don't know how damaged it is. So burning is not exact science. Like, it can explode right away, and it can explode after a time you take a picnic. Just, yeah. Anyhow, let's move on. Tip number 6: uh, car, yeah, that's what I already started. Car dies from impact, not bullets. So I was taking out one of my biggest guns, AK, I think, the full damage, everything, and shot the car. It took way too. It's insane. The car is just durable as hell. And again, when you drive in full speed and just crash somewhere, it starts burning. All the doors after explosion, thrown off, and so it's just, yeah, hitting something with the car, like driving and hit and run, is this way more destructive than shooting it. Just simple as that. Let's move on. I mentioned summer, I think. I hope I'm not repeating. 7th tip is when you have, for example, here for shooting skill, I have assault. There is gunslinger. Gunslinger, actually, I will write it down, is the skill which allows you to, when you are shooting, you just click spacebar, and instead of kicking, it snaps to the closest zombie's head, and if you shoot right after, it's basically headshot. And it works for ferals. It works perfectly for ferals. I'm just suggesting, if you have feral problem, just 2 buttons and the feral's dead, no problem at all. Tip number 8. Yeah, I will check what this trader is trading, no worries. Tip number 8: Plagueheart's search costs. Yes, it's actually bugged me a bit because I was misclicking, so just pay attention. When you open your radio, under the O, there is locate Plagueheart. Actually, I think I'll just do it right now to see if it works. I have 8,000. So I think they probably fixed it also in the patch. Yeah, now, yeah, basically it's not it. So let's call it other way around. It's not, it costs, it doesn't cost, so don't worry. Yeah, I get stuck. Previously, the thing was, actually it's okay, we don't know if it works or not, because when you have all the 10 Plaguehearts on your map, then if you misclick this locate more, actually there is no more than just 10, it takes influence points but gives you nothing instead. Now I have eliminated all the Plaguehearts, so there's no plague, this Bloodplague anywhere. That's why we see it's not taking my influence points. But maybe, just maybe, if there is a Plagueheart still on the map, doesn't matter if you reveal them all, it's still not. Yeah, it at that point it was taking influence points. So I actually, stupid, I can't, because after the patch many things change. Okay, someone please, if you have just misclicked right now after the patch, write please in description. I will add it afterwards. Okay, let's move on. Taking too much time again. Car makes noise. That's simple as that. When you start driving, you hear the noise. But the thing is, if you are just in a car and it started, you can see in the minimap. It's useful when you drive around and you just want to see a map or something. You obviously like automatically want to stop because it makes less noise, so you're not attracting zombies. It's not true. When you're standing, it still makes exact same noise. So another one stuck. Anyhow, move on. Tip number 10. Yeah, there's just I noticed some things. Actually, it's funny where in base there is for example, the same um, boosts yield. It doesn't mention anywhere that it will make noise, but it will increase the threat level. We are speaking about this noise. And my tip actually is something else. Toilets doesn't make noise, which means if you see, let's see if it's not changed. 11, we start it, nothing happens because you pee in silent. Okay, let's move on. Next thing, I don't know if I have it on cooldown or not. Yeah, I have it. Slowcooker also doesn't make sound. Slowcooker is a mod, so that doesn't make sound. If you choose to prepare feast, I have strong. If I have my memory right, it does make a noise, so it increases the threat level. Anyhow, yeah. So tip 11 was Slowcooker is not making. It's silent. Cool. Tip number 12, I think it was mentioned separately when I killed the Juggernaut. There's one extra video, but Juggernaut surround system. Now it's not nothing like Dolby Digital or Atom sound system. It means when you kill the Juggernaut, the companion, usually you can't make them do things or attack from specific directions. Just pay attention from which direction Juggernaut is being hit by your companion or quest giver. You just go other way around, because when they do the swing, it's arc wide. It's actually pretty long area, but you will not get hit. So something. Okay, tip number 13. Second floor hurts. It's simple as that. Pay attention if you are in two-story building. From the second floor, actually, there is also a window. You can jump out of it, but you will you will hurt. You will lose a bit health. Nothing major, but just pay attention. Try not to jump out of the second floor building. Let's call it a tip also for your life, not only video games. Tip number 14. CNC doesn't make noise. Let's test it out still again. So CNC is installed mod, the best mod if you want to convert materials into parts. Best conversion ratio. Let's try it. Yes. And I will explain why. Basically there are 3 tips that could be tied together, but how and why I find it out and why it's important is one of my suggestions was, for example, now there's a threat level. Actually, I'll wait. There's, I think, another tip, and then it will be more logical to be mentioned there. Okay, tip number 15. Open radio. You saw I misclicked already once. When you click stuck, there is hold your position in the corner, saying like, well, of course I'm holding my position, I'm stuck. Yeah, crap. So the thing is, let me... Yeah. So that tip is quite simple. When you are stuck, sometimes you are stuck. Well, yeah, there's nothing actually you can do about it. Just, yeah, be prepared, like mentally preparing you. Sometimes when you jump on the cliffs and the cliffs are not like flat or something, you get stuck in mid-air. Your person you're controlling, it's middle air and not landing. And I tried to unstuck, and obviously it threw me off. But the thing is, as it was not standing stationary, it was thrown off, and I took full damage, and not like 10 health points or something. It took 50 health, like half of the bar. Just pay attention. This stuck, it can hit you. It can hit you pretty hard. Okay, tip number 16. Ambushes are ridiculous. Now we're going back to the point. After the patch 2.0, the ambushes at your house or at the base, it's ridiculous. It's just, I noticed they're coming in two waves. In one first wave they're like 3-4 zombies, and the second wave maybe 2 or 3. It's like if you're not out of your ammo, don't bother. It's ridiculous, and that yeah, I want to tie together with those mods and which mods are not making any sound and toilets. Because one of my tips was, when there is an ambush at your base, obviously you want to take most out of it, which means kill most zombies, which means you need to bring your threat level at maximum. And as I just showed you, this CNC, for example, doesn't make any sound. You can use anything else, so yield boost, prepare feast, satellite broadcast, launch, those make noise. So use those if you need to increase the threat level. And quite opposite, if you don't want to increase a threat level, then you know your options, what you can use. Okay, let's move on. At one point I will actually in 10 minutes check what this trader offers. I did check it, didn't I? Didn't I? Have it. Nothing useless. Someone needs this. I don't need it. Okay, anyhow. So this is... Yay, we have zombie attack. 4 minutes. I'll drive. Tip number 17. Sprint doesn't interrupt a reload, which is, if you're a gamer, you know there's a lot of games when you initiate reloading. And for extra bonus tip, I made a video when I didn't had the awesome 150 bullets assault rifle AK, but yeah, it holds 150 bullets. It's crazy amount. So basically, you don't need anything. But the thing is, there's a trade-off. Reload is really long, and if you get interrupted, you need to start over. Simple as that. So that's tip number 17 we have in the next line. When you start, I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any bullets. Anyhow, if you start reloading afterwards, you can hit shift button or what it is on Xbox and still get your weapon reloaded. That's a note, as you can see. I'm running and it's still reloaded. But there are other things you need to pay attention. The dodge and climbing. Obviously, when you're climbing on ladders, that's huge things, but any climbing actually counts as climbing. If you're climbing in a building, if you're climbing over the fence, doesn't matter if it's a big or small, then your reload will be interrupted. That's not a big thing, like when you're in a fight, obviously you're not climbing anywhere usually, but the dodge is the problematic, because, for example, when I just attacked the freak, Then I try to shoot, then sometimes I need reload. If I do dodge while I'm reloading, yeah, just pay attention. Afterwards, you will be with empty magazine. Just they are taking my attention away from you guys. Those damn zombies. Okay, that was tip number 18. That what interrupts the reloads. Tip number 19. I just noticed want to mention if you haven't. If you want to try some new things or anything, for example, the same boombox, I'm suggesting to try it out and any item at all. There's option for you to take not full 3 slots because you would need only one to try it out, and if you want to go in a mission afterwards, then you just need one, right? Because you will testing it, and afterwards you would like to have clean item inventory. So you can take with R just one, any item if you want, just one by one, which is nice. Okay, tip number 20. Yeah, this might be important for you in the beginning when morale is really important, because yeah, currently I have maxed it out. When your community member catches the plague, you can station it in the infirmary and take care so she doesn't die. That's not a problem. But the problem is whenever someone gets this infection, they have minus 25 morale penalty, which is quite big at the beginning. When you are speaking about 10, 5 bonuses or something, then 25 can bring quite down your overall morale. Anyhow, tip number 21. I'll try to remember where I had it. This point is about getting weapons, not speaking about any special places or anything, just 4 places that comes in my mind, and the first one is actually that I want to pay more attention to. Would advise you to pay more attention. So, military base I have here. Yeah, they live there. But yeah, military outpost is one thing, and anything that is regarding militaries, that's place number 1. Second place, where obviously our weapons still, is police departments, police stations, anything regarding police. Actually, I need to write down also. Let me find my place where I get ammo. Army, Navy, outfitter. So anywhere where you can get ammo, there will be a possibility to get also weapons, but like when you loot it out. And roadblocks is another one. That's the no, militaries, police, everywhere where you get ammo. Roadblocks is the 4th. Just pay attention. Military checkpoint. That's another one. And the 5th is my favorite because you can actually, if you have revealed the map, there are some points which could be hidden, because actually I scanned all the map, and I think it was here. Yes. So all the shacks actually have their names, like Red Shack, Nice Shack, Shelter, many funny names. And I found there is such thing, like sometimes when you run in the background, there's a nice casual looking shack. When you open up, actually that's an armory. There's guns, there's bullets. That's awesome. And yeah, in this map I found it's one gun shack. In other maps I know I found them as well. I think they might be named similarly. So yeah, I scanned all the map and checked all those points. So if you're looking for gun, those are the places where to look. Tip number 22, obvious, but I just want to mention because in one of my video comment sections I found such entry that how can you guys play State of Decay 2? It's already like I finished it, it's done. Yeah, I'll kindly disagree. Of course, it can be finished in few hours, but suggestion number 22 is to explore. all those buildings, all those houses are quite boring. They're the same type, the same thing. But in every map there is landmarks, and landmarks, for example, here, if if you've seen my video of his updated map, there's a cliff around it, and on top of here is Sasser Regional Hospital, which is actually a huge building and quite unique, and I would call that a landmark. And there's others, of course. All the bases are also kind of landmarks because they are each and every one unique. This tall post office, not so much, but still it's a bit different than others. Then there's a library, then there's office buildings. Okay, office buildings are the same. But so I'm just suggesting, if you drive by in any map some building that looks a bit different, loot it. First thing, it's interesting. Second thing, it's actually I need this one. Second thing, there's, as far as I know, there's a lot of floating containers in every one of them. As far as for me, it was for me. Yeah, they are always a lot of loot. And third point, I don't know, because it's awesome. Anyhow, okay, let's move on. Tip number 23. Yeah, just let's take a quick pause. This is the quest I started, the Dead Exiles. This is the Enclave. I just moved them in a auto shop. So when I finish this quest, and I think one more, they will be allied, and I can pop cars again. Yeah, this crazy dude with already a bit cars around the base. Yeah, that's just, yeah. It's called Dead Axeless. Gone missing. Yeah, previously there was emptying the room and also getting the parts from the car. But I think the beginning is the same. It's Dead Exiles, and the quest was popped up with neutral Enclave, and obviously quest in it to help them out. And afterwards they revealed there are 3 mechanics and started this side quest, suggesting to have it. It's one of the best Enclave bonuses you can have. Afterwards you can pop cars every hour or so, with small cost of influence actually. Okay, tip number 23. Many times I've seen, and all of you awesome guys who are checking my videos as well, mentioned like, yeah dude, just suggest to everyone to use floating. Okay, floating. I actually I pause the game so I don't lose this mission. Floating outpost is, I can't, is when you have one slot open, and whenever, actually this is my floating, when you are looting the house, the home, any location you jump in, you take it as an outpost. First thing, it pops up your locker. Second thing, every container loot in that building will be automatic, like instant, almost instant. And afterwards you just open up, you ditch this outpost, and then move on to the next house and loot it again. So I'll give you a few reasons why I tried it out. Obviously I'm trying out everything you're suggesting, so if you have any suggestions, write down in the comment section. First thing, to claim the outpost you have to visit every room, which takes a time. Of course, there's some buildings, those awesome areas where there's just straight one room, and you can take the outpost. One thing, taking outpost pops up question screen if you want to make it. Second thing, when you done loot, like, okay, in order. Second, okay. First thing, it takes time to visit all the rooms. Second, if you've been already in every room, you could already potentially loot every container. Of course, it takes more time because afterwards you need to go again. Second, when you're done your running, you need to take this pop-up screen the outpost. Third thing then is, yeah, you need, fourth, you need to run back to all the containers and actually loot them. And then when you need to get rid of them, you need to open up a screen, pop up. Guys, okay, let's make a point here. It is worth if you can really fast, or it's a huge building where it's just one room and you can automatically make it as an outpost. And second thing, if there is more than, I don't know, 3 containers, then it's worth doing this floating outpost. Otherwise, it's faster if you just load goddamn containers. That's it, simple as that. You don't run around the house like a crazy person. You loot them. Of course, you do that with the shift, and that's it. And of course, this um, floating outpost works if you need to ditch if you're going in looting spree. For example, if you see, I have most of them looted. Here, if I would go, but well, I have one already near because my outposts are scattered around. Here's the one, actually, one of those places I need to take. Anyhow, the floating is only valuable is when you need to drop off and your other outposts are far away. Then you ditch one and take one right next to you and use your locker. That would be my advice. Otherwise, yeah, this floating sounds good, doesn't work. Okay, this point took too much time. Second page, we have 24th tip. uh, I hope I doesn't mention it, but it's just basic. Dodging through interrupts. when you have when you have mission where you need to save someone, or your companion is fighting, or he's just falling behind and is trapped in the zombies, there's many times zombies that are crouching. They are sneaking by, and usually I don't know why, the logic is your companions are hitting them the last, or just kind of not noticing seeing them, and they jump on your companion, and when they jump and take a bite, it costs health. Simple as that. You can't afterwards, when the bite is already kind of started, doesn't matter if you interrupt afterwards, the health is already taken away. There's one thing, if you do, I'll try to actually show you how it works. You've seen it how it works. If you dodge through the zombies, they actually kind of for the moment, like not stunned, but just interrupted, and every action is interrupted. Either it's running, you see this, either it's jumping, either it's anything. So one of the suggestions would be, if you see that your companion is being attacked and there are more than one or two, because if you hit them, they can, oh nice, if you hit them, you can hit only one zombie at a time. But if you, yeah, Juggernaut will do the trick. So when you do the dodge, you can go through more zombies, and each and every one of them will be interrupted, basically. Yeah, and that's the trick. Okay, a fight, and at the same time, oh yeah, tip number 25, one of my favorites. Drive people is quite simple. You know, there is no there is no friendly fire on, which means you can shoot your people. Not only that, as you can see, another way how to kill is like driving with your car. And if you have Enclave, where zombies are attacked, and sometimes they are not in the house, they are outside, like in open field. Don't be scared. Just drive through all of them. Like, even if they will be hit, they will not take any damage. Simple as that. Okay, tip number 26. Scouting helps infestations. That's, yeah, if you know that there's a bug. Let's combine. I already mentioned it once. The infestations, when they are in the house that is not fully looted, you see there's 4 more containers, it's visible on the map. The problem is, for example, here the house, the building was looted fully, so it's black. And when infestation is popping up there, it's not shown on the map. One thing how you can see, it's not my trick, I saw it in the internet, credit goes to some awesome dude. um, I, I don't know where I found it, I need to find it obviously, but the tip is zoom out, zoom in, and you see the first buildings that are popping up, all they are infested. And if you zoom in more, you see the rest of the buildings come up. So that's how you see where your infestations is. That's one trick, not mine, but actual trick from me is you have community members that are scouting. What it does, it pops up all the zombies on the mini screen. Obviously, when there's infestation in the building, will be at least 9-10 zombies. So there's a bunch of them, but that's not the pointer. The pointer is you're looking in every infested place is at least one, but up to usually 3 screamers. This scouting skill also identifies freaks, bloaters, and everything like right away. Uh, and that's the hint. When you get such a person in a car and drive around in a mini map, it's quite easily to see where the dots are popping up, like a lot of them, and between them, 3 of them are screamers. They little icons pop up, so you know exactly where the infestation is. So that's how scouting obviously helps and works. Okay, tip number 27. Let's call it a side tip. This video will be called 30 tips for a reason, because there are actually more, but you can count this out as a tip. Misconception and misreading, or I don't know how to call it actually. Many of you have argued and said that no. Electricity, Russian dude, electricity costs you only 1 fuel per day. No. Water, remember, water is everywhere, water is simple, water is cheap, water. Uh, I need to find it, but I don't have it. Yeah, water is right here. You can't see, it says daily fuel costs. Water costs you only 1 fuel per day. Another way how you can remember that electricity costs 2 fuels, 2 full fuels every day, is water. This outpost costs only 1,000 influence points, and I think electricity costs 2,000, 2 times more. So obviously it takes 2 times more this fuel. Meanwhile, I tried. I think here, yeah. You see, the claiming requires way more influence, and it uses way more fuel, like 2 times more. And please, guys, this is it. Let's settle it and stick to this. That's the truth. Okay, tip number 28. Satellite broadcasts on cooldown. CD is not like your compact disc. No, it's cooldown. One thing, actually, I'm all the time breaking my rule. If you pay attention to satellite broadcasts, it doesn't actually cost you any parts, any influence, basically anything. It's free. It's okay. 1 labor, come on, 1 dude can sit and listen to the broadcasts, and what it gives you is 20% influence. I'd call it huge boost at the beginning when you're out of influence points. Not my case, I have 8,000, but at any given situation, it depends on how much you are missing, but it's awesome to have at Recover Classic. Yeah, it's awesome to have at any given moment. So please, yeah, use by the cooldowns. It costs only 1 labor. Use it frequently because you want extra 1/5 of your influence points coming in. Obviously, you want that. Okay, tip number 29. Allied enclaves. Yeah, when you have allied enclaves, I'll show you. I think those guys actually asked for something. So tested. I don't know if it works 100%. I think one time they actually didn't leave. Anyways, When you have allied Enclave, it's the top tier friendship. They give the bonus. When they ask for a mission, you have this option to go by them and say like, yes, I give you the rucksack or help you out, or actually deny, like cancel the mission. The thing is, it not, in my case, at least last time I tried, it was not just canceling the mission. Whenever I canceled, I said like, yeah guys, no materials for you, and they said, okay, bye. Simple as that. They just left the map. Just so pay attention. It's maybe better to just leave alone the mission. Maybe you come by or passes and they will be just a bit angry at you. But if you cancel the mission, they are packing the bags and leaving immediately. Okay, tip number 30. Yeah, I mentioned in one of your comments, we discussed about getting cars stuck in a map, which is, this map is the worst for it. I have had it stuck here, and I tried out, maybe casually with some little push from the C4, you could like, I was prepared. I took with me all the repair kits. I was prepared for blowing it in the sky. What it happens actually, the car stays like exactly the same. Huge explosion. All the doors are out. Car is burning. Women are screaming. Like, casual stuff. And the car doesn't move not a millimeter. So there's no impact from the blast radius. That's, take it or leave it, but just so you know, don't waste your C4 trying to get your car out. Fun thing, actually, I managed. Okay, let's include bonus tip right here. My car was stuck between two, like in a deep valley, and both sides were stuck. I tried explosion, then I repaired it. Actually, I did it without repairing it. I took another car because actually one of you guys, that's why I wanted to test it out, mentioned that the car is stuck so much that you can't push it out, because one of my tips and tricks, in another video mentioned just ram it and push it out of the cliff or something. And obviously there might be a situation where it's not possible as well. In my case, the car standed through. I quite fast drew with my Jeep. Just took a Jeep so it doesn't get stuck as well. Hit it once, car doesn't move like at all. I thought like, okay, it's broken. It's definitely stuck here. Hit it again, hit it like 3 times. No change. It actually, any normal person at the point would say like, okay, this is stuck. Let's go do anything else. Russian dude, I think it was the 5th hit. I hit in the exact same speed, in exact same point, in exact same, just repeating. You know how dumb people work, do exact same thing, expect things to change, and it changed. In the 5th time, the car just pushed a little bit and it turned away, so I could actually reach the engine and fix it, and now this car is not stuck anymore. I can go and get it, but yeah, I took my Jeep back. Another tip, just be relentless. Don't let it go so easily. I don't know how. Take it or leave it. That's my additional bonus tip. Okay, tip number 31. Switch before giving works. Let me explain how it works. You take new community member. For example, this one for me is recruit. She's very bad at anything. And the thing is, when one of the fastest ways how to increase it is completing the missions. And there are some missions where you can switch your persons around. And simple as that. The same happens, for example, when zombies are ambushing your base. You can take your most experienced guy. This actually dude will do. Let's call it. And actually, he's quite sportish. Extra stamina. He's good. Anyhow, you can, while the countdown happens, at the end there is also to clear out your base from the rest of the zombies. You can take this guy, shoot out all the zombies, kick them, kill them, and when right before the conclusion happens, when actually this standing is increased, you can switch to some rookie, some dummy. I will not switch because it will open the mission, but for example this one. And if you do it before this standing is given, it will be given to this person. Simple as that. A bit cheating, work with one, and actually all the credit goes to another one. You know how it works in real life. It happens all the time. Anyhow, tip number 32. Yeah, can die from the fall. It's, let's call it a bug. I reported it already in one of the videos when there was accident happening. Somehow all my particular persons that were useless for my community, they somehow started jumping off the roof. I don't know why, they crazy. And what happened? First one person died, second person took less damage, and the third person I was unable to push off the roof. Simple as that. And I tried it just now, and actually the outcome is quite interesting. Let's see if I can repeat the same thing. What it happens is when you jump off, you take quite huge amount of fall damage, and we have only 108. What happens is with every sequential, like, next fall, it takes less and less damage, and it goes in ridiculous geometrical decrease. It goes like the last jumps off the roof for the previous person, like you see 20, around 28, 27. I had like 20 health. I thought like, okay, 2 more jumps and this person will be off. And then it took only 5, so I was 15 health. Next time it took only 4, then it took only 3. Like previously it was like 20, then 10, then 5, and the last actually it took 3 health. Next time I jump off, it's again 2 only, then 2 only, then 1. And when I was at the last health, which actually took me like a lot of jumps. Okay, this one is dying pretty well. Funny as it sounds. But at the last health, I just couldn't drop. I jumped off the roof, I think like 5 times, because I was thinking the last, okay, it will not going through. You see what's happening? 29. And the last health, it just stayed. And after 5 times, I get too bored. I just accident happened outside the base. Some zombie hit it. As you can see, 7 health now is taken. Like every next damage taken by fall is taking less and less damage. This is my, I don't know, finding. And I'm thinking one of the reasons why it's happening is probably because I have already history in this community that person died from the fall damage. You see? It's like ridiculous. Okay, you take a rest. You took your hits. Anyhow, yeah, you can use that information. I think that the first person who takes fall damage can actually die, as one of my community members died, but afterwards there's some security net that actually prohibits your community members to jump off the roof and get killed. Stupid as it sounds. Okay, last tip 33. I mentioned it before, but I just at the beginning of this video I actually almost accidentally failed at the mission which I wanted to complete, which was this repair shop quest. The tip is simple. If you see any kind of missions like legacy, community goals, or external, if you just come close to this, there is some kind of not seen, you cannot see this quest area, but it triggers the quest, and most of the quests have quest area, and if you just draw by and there's some mission, you need something else and you want to come back, if you drive by, the mission will start, and if you get away too far, it pops up the screen saying you have 10 seconds to get back in area or the mission will be lost. Which, if you're running with a fast car, it's and I don't know, get stuck or something happens, it's quite, you have only 10 seconds to get back and save the mission. So that's what I did actually, and completed the mission, so I'm not failing when I took this video. Anyhow, here it is, 33 tips and tricks from the playthrough. Something can be useful, something is maybe, I hope not repeating myself. Yeah, I'll end the video right now. I think the video is already taking too much time. Thank you guys for the support. If you like the video, the likes always help. If you want to share with your other friends so they know more about game, I'm encouraging to do that, because the more we know, the more you can point out my mistakes if I'm doing something wrong, or more suggestions coming in. That's awesome. I'm really active in comment section. If you want to chat, ask anything, do that. If I'm failing at being online, sometimes it happens. There are other awesome guys who know this game as well as me, if not even better. They can answer the questions, and all together, nice, 5 meds, awesome. And altogether we have a huge knowledge base for this game, and this is amazing. If you're interested in more videos coming up from this Russian guy, you can subscribe, or if you don't want to do that, you can skip this part. Okay guys, stay tuned and we will meet in next videos. Bye.